Hey,
Oh,
how are you? Welcome to episode 21.
21, 2021.
2021 has been off to a crazy start,
Mm-hmm.
actually. A crazy start. But before we start, we did want to shout out our friend Aaliyah for
Ah,
getting us these beautiful mugs.
sorry, my light is fucking it up. You see it? You see it? That's it.
So we just wanted to shout you out and say thank you, and we'll be sipping from this all episode.
Yes, I'm finishing up my iced coffee. I didn't want to put anything milky in this. So I'm finishing up
Yeah.
my iced coffee and then I'm going back.
I have tea for people that are wondering. I mean, when you see this, it won't be 10 a.m. that we recorded this at.
I did consider putting wine in this and then I decided against it. Time has no meaning. It is a concept. Drink whatever you want. Unless you're an alcoholic. I'm not yet.
So how has your 2020 been since the last time that we checked in? 2020, 2021.
It's been interesting. It's been interesting. I am anticipating a lot of change this year, and it's already kind of started. So, like I said in the last podcast, or maybe it was 2 podcasts ago, I don't want to give everything away. As things happen, they will be revealed.
Yeah.
But it's going to be rocky, but I know that there's going to be a good result at the end. So,
Same. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm still making the mistake of writing 2020 on papers, which is why I just made that mistake now. It doesn't feel any different.
You know what's funny to me though? 2020, it was so hard for me to say 2020 the whole year. Like all last year, I kept thinking it was either 2019 or 2021. Like at several points throughout the year, I'd be like, oh, next year, when it's 2022. I remember looking at something that said, last year I looked at something that said, oh, expires May 2021. I was like, ew, this is months old. No, it's not, bitch. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
2020 didn't exist to me. The entire year I was confused. So when 2021 came, I've actually not made that mistake once. Like it's 21 every time I write the date, and I don't know why. Because I didn't exist in 2020. That's why.
Yeah, you completely skipped over it. No, it's just, I don't know. I'm also appalled because it's low-key March. Like, I don't understand.
Wait, that is February. We didn't even hit her birthday yet, and she says it's March. You're funny as hell.
No, seriously, like at work, we're planning stuff for like March, April when the weather gets warm. I'm like, that is literally like tomorrow. And it's stressing me out how it's almost been a year since quarantine. And it's just ridiculous.
It's a lot. The COVID vaccine came out, and I think because of that, people are really anticipating spring and summer. Well, hopefully, if there's enough vaccines to go around, people are really anticipating spring and summer to be a lot better this year.
And it's not to cut you off, it's interesting because I read an article that said the numbers of like the approval of the vaccine from the general public, people willing to get the vaccine, has doubled in the last 2-3 weeks. Yeah. Like people will be like, I don't trust the government. What's in the vaccine? To give it to me now.
Literally, what I saw, I think in New York, there was some sort of confusion where people thought, because right now you have to make an appointment to get it. Mm-hmm. And right now there is a priority for people who are part of the immunocompromised population or people who support them. So healthcare workers, if you're taking care of your grandparents, a sick mother, a sick child, whatever, right? So those are the people who are getting approved first to be able to get the vaccine.
As they should.
Yeah. So technically, because of my job, they already gave us all the information at my job to say, you can make an appointment. This is how you do it. This is the information you give them, right?
Yeah.
And so there was some sort of mistake in New York where I guess people thought that they could get the vaccine at a specific location without an appointment, and the line
stretched.
Yes. And the line stretched, I think they said, for 3 or 4 blocks. And then they had to send out the workers into the line, like, if you don't have an appointment, go home.
That's crazy. It's just so interesting how things have flipped.
Yeah. Because I think what it is people like me were expecting a zombie apocalypse. And when it didn't happen, it's like, okay, give me the vaccine. Like, I don't want to catch it.
And it's actually funny because at my job, they've warned us. They said, don't discuss if you're going to get the vaccine because there are people that don't want to get it for whatever reasons they want to get. So keep it to yourself if you're going to get the vaccines. Like, it's now entered the realm of politics, religion, favorite football team, things that you like low key, how much you make, the low key cannot talk about in the workplace now. And I think that's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my boss definitely was like, don't talk about it. If you're gonna get it. Don't gloat about it. Some people will get it before others. It's nuts. It's nuts. And my own father, I didn't tell you this, but my own father, bless him, I love him. For people that don't know me, I'm a big daddy's girl. But he went from literally saying, Melissa, we're not getting the vaccine. We don't know what's in it. The Tuskegee experiments happened. They gave us syphilis, to literally last week being like, you are not being responsible if you don't get the vaccine. You are endangering everyone. You are not thinking about your health.
That is so funny.
Unplug from the TV, because I feel like it's the media that's really making people like hungry for it, or especially people that don't necessarily need it, like people in our age bracket and health bracket.
Yeah, I still hold fast to that. Like, I'm going to get it because eventually I know that either we're going to be forced to, or I'm going to personally need to.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting. Like, I'm like, there are other people out there that it's more important for them to get it over me. So I'm hoping by like the beginning of the summer, things have died down. Most of the people have gotten it. So, because they also said, like, you have to get them because it's 2 shots and you have to get them within a specific amount of time. And some people are having issues scheduling their second appointment.
Which so negates the whole thing.
So you have to start all over again. I'm like, why aren't they letting them make the 2 appointments at the same time? Like, oh, come in for the first one. We'll figure out this. No.
Make the appointment.
I'm coming on Monday. I'm seeing you again next Monday. Stop it. What are you doing? So bizarre.
It's ridiculous. I mean, best wishes. If any of our listeners have gotten the vaccine, they want to report to us on any symptoms. If you have a third leg, if anything has started happening to you, let us know.
Started craving human flesh.
Yes.
No.
Let us know. Include your address.
Yeah.
Are you ready to play a game?
I am ready. We haven't played a game in a while.
You want to tell them what this game's about, Miss Christine? While I pull up my questions.
This game is, we've played it before. It's basically Black Card Revoked. So we're going to ask each other questions that Black people should know, and we'll see if our Black card should be revoked. Our Black card should be revoked. What the fuck was that?
So to add to my Black card, because my Black card is like a titanium gray card, a stainless steel card. I want to make it more black. I just saw Coming to America last week.
It already dropped? Oh, wait.
No.
Wait.
The first one.
Wait. The first one. You know what? Wait, I can't be mad at you. Because I just saw Boys in the Hood last month.
Christine. I've seen that.
My mom didn't let me watch like PG-13 R-rated movies that much younger. So if I watched those movies, it was at if I was at my cousin's house, she wouldn't care, but at home, she really wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah.
So, and then when I would go to my cousin's house, they're such nerds. So we were watching Blade, Mortal Kombat. Like, movies that they would watch. So by the time I could watch whatever I wanted, I had already decided I love cartoons. So I just watch cartoons all the time. So I'm trying to force especially because I wanted to act. I'm trying to force myself.
I mean, it's the same reason why I haven't seen Coming to America. I don't know. My mom was never against that movie specifically, but Black movies in general just wasn't on repeat in my house. Like, a second, did you know there's titties in Coming to America? There's full
Yes.
frontal nudity in this movie in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I was appalled. I thought this was a kid's movie.
Yeah. PG-13. But listen, all of those ratings are based on nothing. I think we discussed that before. Like, what? Like, if you have a heterosexual sex scene in a movie, you could still get a PG-13 rating, right? But if you have a gay sex scene, it will automatically get an R rating, no matter what.
And I found out on Netflix, there's a documentary about like curse words, which is really cool. It's like the history of swear words. And in movies, you can say, in PG-13 movies, you can say fuck one time.
Yep.
And that's a harsh word to say at any time in a PG-13 movie.
You're allowed to say it one time. That's why to get Hamilton onto Disney Plus, they had to bleep out 2 of their F words. Otherwise,
I think I heard that.
And I think there are 5 PG movies that were able to get the PG rating, even though they said the F word. One of those being Beetlejuice.
PG.
They got a PG rating because I guess the content was family friendly enough that they let that one cuss word go. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies, so I was reading up about it.
Super arbitrary. Well, we'll just let it go.
It's based on nothing. I think back in the day, the old Romeo and Juliet from like the 60s got an R rating because there's a scene where you see either Romeo's butt or Juliet's butt. I can't remember. It got an R rating, and the girl who played Juliet wasn't 17 yet or something, so she couldn't even say, or it got some sort of rating where Juliet couldn't go to the movies and see it.
Yeah.
She starred in it.
That happened with one of the Stranger Things kids. I remember that. They couldn't see their own thing because they weren't old enough. And I think it was It. They acted in It.
Yeah.
The clown movie, and they couldn't even go see it.
Like, make sure you bring your parent.
What?
I'm 16. I'm in this movie. I said it. You made me say the word. That's funny as well.
All right. Are you ready for this game?
I'm ready. You go first.
Okay. Did you watch Power?
The first season.
Okay. So maybe you'll.
Afterwards, I couldn't. Go on.
So maybe you'll get this. This is easy one for people that are listening. What is James St. Patrick's nickname on the show Power?
Oh.
Is it Spirit, Nino, Blue, or Ghost? Ghost. What is, okay, here's another one. Not from Power. Can I make one from Power? Yes. Oh, but you haven't even seen all of it. That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair.
We'll see.
Which R&B singer, female, guest starred on the most recent season of Power?
Do I get options?
No.
R&B singer?
Female R&B singer.
Was it Mary J. Blige?
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, Mary J. Blige. Yes. She played a very good role. All right, you go ahead with your question.
Okay, my question is, my first question. What's the biggest conspiracy theory that we won't let die? Janet and El DeBarge had a love child. Beyonce was never pregnant with Blue Ivy. Tupac is still alive.
Tupac's still alive.
Or OJ.
Tupac's still alive. Tupac's still alive. Tupac is still alive, and he's living in Cuba.
You know what's funny? The fact that we know that Biggie is dead, but can't that Tupac is. He's dead and gone. Rest in peace. He was the king. Where is Tupac? Show us your book.
That's fun. I never thought of that. It's very true. Here's a harder one.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the first African-American woman to win 5 Grammys in one year? DeBrat, Foxy Brown, Lauryn Hill, or Missy Elliott?
The first?
The first.
Lauryn Hill?
DeBrat, Foxy Brown, Lauryn Hill, or Missy Elliott?
Lauryn Hill?
Oh, I didn't hear you. Yes, Lauryn Hill. Yes, and one of those Grammys were for the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which is very highly recommended as the best hip hop album of all time.
They literally let that woman thrive for about 5 years, and then they took her career away from her.
Yep. I mean, didn't she kind of do it to herself by not showing up hours late to her performance? Is that her?
But that was years after. That was in like the 2000s. She said that her record label did nothing to push any of her music.
That's ridiculous.
Of Lauryn Hill. The music industry is so corrupt.
I gotta sit down and watch a Lauryn Hill documentary. That seems like it's gonna be super interesting.
All right, my last question. What's most liable to get you cussed out at the cookout? You fuck up the potato salad.
People like potato salad in 2021. I don't know. Keep going.
People get mad at me when I say potato salad is disgusting. But anyway, you mess up the potato salad. You don't bring anything. You walk in and you don't greet anyone. Or you renege during spades.
Renege during spades, period. Period.
The correct answer is technically when you walk in and you don't greet anybody.
It was between those two.
Yeah.
It was between those two. But reneging during spades is very high.
But listen.
High blasphemy.
Listen, you want to know why that's not the right answer?
Why?
Because that will get you cussed out no matter the event you're playing. You can play it at the kickback. You can play it at the family party.
That's true.
That's why it's not the right answer. No matter what. True. I don't even remember how to play spades. But
Christine, I'm definitely blacker than you. It's established. It's been established.
One year, we played it with your mom and your brother during Sandy. And no one else ever let me play after that. So I forgot how to play.
Oh my gosh. My mom, like I said, I tell everyone this. My mom is a spades. And if you're even blacker, you know what bid whist is. But she's a spades and bid whist champion. And taught me how to play by playing me. By literally not holding any bars. She dead ass played me. And I'm 10 years old. She's playing full out. It's like, well, you lost. And that's literally how she taught me. And that's why I'm so good.
Put you down. Make you feel small. And she has a right to, because you should know how to play the game. I should have been born with the knowledge. As much as she played it. I will vouch for that. Her mother is a beast, but that's how I learned, because she made me play. Yeah. And whenever I messed up, she let me know immediately.
I forgot about that memory. I forgot you came to my house during Sandy. Yeah. For people that don't know, or people not in New Jersey, Hurricane Sandy was a crazy event, especially one to experience in college. I'm really happy that we were on Easton Ave that year. That was the year we lived in downtown New Brunswick. Because in the middle of the storm, as we saw what are they called? The things on the light bulbs. Yeah, the transformers. Yes. We saw the transformers exploding like fireworks. We saw all the lights getting shut down. And then the other campuses, Douglas and Cook, had to be shipped. College Ave in the middle of a storm. Yes. Or Livy. I wish we had kind of went to Livy, because Livy was a party. For people that go to Rutgers, y'all know, but if y'all didn't go to Rutgers, we're talking about different campuses. We would love to hear your Sandy story. Go ahead and shoot it to us. Yes, let's take a trip down memory lane. But yes. All right. Are you ready to move on? On to the wonderful inauguration where, thank God, nobody killed Joe Biden, because it made us feel like they were going to. Holy shit. I think Joe Biden's word, if there's anyone that's going to kill Joe Biden, it's going to be Kamala. But we could talk about that on another day. Kamala. I have to learn how to say her name correctly. Kamala. I mean, I guess, but at the same token, Joe Biden is almost 80. Yes. That's old as fuck. Like. Yes. He's not doing 2 terms. He's not doing 2 terms. No. Because he's going to be 82 by the time this term is over.
Absolutely not. Who wants to be president in their mid-80s? I want to sit in my fucking house and relax. His wife is.
I would not.
She and fucking be the first lady.
Yep. I mean, okay. So the inauguration. Yes. What were your thoughts on the whole thing? If you could put it into a couple words, and then I'll go into mine, then we'll talk about it.
I actually unfortunately, I was in a long doctor's appointment. As soon as Joe Biden walked out, they called me in, and I had no service. But I have to say, I was emotional.
Me too.
I was convinced Donald Trump was going to win again. And I am happy that the pandemic happened, because had it not, Trump would have won again.
Preach.
Because of the pandemic, and because he showed how inept he was at handling it with the press, with his social media, with the things he was telling his Congress to do, his people to do, still traveling, still vacationing, still not caring, watching people die, saying it wasn't that bad. Because of how inept he was at handling the pandemic, I think that's the only reason people were motivated to vote him out. And I'm so happy for that, because if COVID hadn't happened, Trump would be president again.
I 100% agree. And I think that's the first time I'm hearing that sentiment outside of my brain. So I love you. That's 100% true. 1,000% true.
Yeah. So I was actually emotional. And also, Joe Biden made a commitment to find people of color to like fill his cabinet. And you know, it's so funny, because people always go, oh, well, he's only doing it for publicity. He's only doing it as a stunt. He's only doing it for X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, listen, you can't say the people he chose are not qualified.
Right.
So no matter how you feel about it, they have the doctorates and the degrees to back their name, and the experience to back their name. That's number one and number two. And
they're worthy of being there. Don't take that away from them.
Thank you. And it's like, listen, if anything, somebody even said this about Obama, for all the things that could happen to me simply because I'm Black or because I'm a person of color,
right?
Let me getting a good position be one of those
things.
Right. Let me be president be one of those things. Damn. Because at the end of the day, if I wasn't qualified, I wouldn't even have an option to have my name be up here.
Exactly.
Okay? So if he's trying to prove a point, let him prove the point, because now I could do the work.
At the end of the day, they're held to the same standards as a white guy held in that. If not worse standards. If not higher. That's what I'm saying. If not higher standards, they will be dropped at the drop of a hat if they don't make it. But at least they're there. They're able to break those ceilings. I watched the entire inauguration. I've never sat through an entire inauguration. Not even Obama's inauguration that I sit through from beginning to end. But this one I really did sit through because it was so entertaining. I don't understand why. It was also super Black. It was very, very, very Black. It was almost Blacker than Aretha Franklin at Obama's inauguration. Almost. That hat was Blacker than anyone could ever be. But remember Aretha Franklin's bow hat?
Look it up right now.
And we'll put a picture here as a reference.
You know what? We have to stop making that a promise, because I always forget to do it. So,
okay.
But we will try to. Oh, wow. I remember. As soon as I looked, I remembered. How beautiful. I love that church hat. Okay.
But so if you're lucky, guys, tune into the YouTube, check to see if we have the picture of it.
If not, just Google it.
Yeah. But it was super Black. That we had J-Lo. J-Lo's performance, not great.
Because she can't sing.
Not great. She's like Rihanna. She's just pretty. Like, she's just beautiful to look at. Very athletically built.
Hit the notes doesn't mean you're a singer. Remember that.
Thank you.
Remember that.
And then she gonna be like, "Let's get loud."
I heard.
Girl.
Somebody said she slipped that in there. Ma'am, that is from 1999. I think it's time to let it go.
You could take the girl out of Bronx. But man, the Bronx gonna creep up every time. Every time.
Did you see? Wait, real quick, Jennifer Lopez. Did you see how she came out with a skin line, right? A skincare line? Not just skin, a skincare line. And somebody came for her and said, "Oh, why are you selling skincare when clearly you got like Botox and shit on your skin done?"
Because she was talking like this and smiling like this. And oh my God, this is so nice.
What to tell you guys. This is just how my face looks. Sorry that you can't have flawless skin. Like, bitch, I wanted to see her do something. I wanted to see ability. Even if you don't do it naturally. Let me see it.
Right?
Move your eyebrows.
She said, that's just how my face is.
I don't know anybody's face who is. I've even seen people with Botox find a way to move their eyebrows. So what's happening with you?
Ridiculous. And then I saw another thing about her skincare line. Mm-hmm. She came out with like what she does to take care of her take care of her skin. And all she said was fucking toner, moisturizer, SPF, and goes about her day. Meanwhile, when she does performances on the list of things that she needs in her room, the skincare is 50 items long. Different types of serums, different types of retinol, different types of face masks, like mad products. But she won't try and tell people, all I do is just splash water in the morning, let it air dry, and go about my day.
My thing is, don't lie. Don't lie when you're trying to sell a product. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that is so bizarre because it's like, let's say you're like, oh, that's what I do for performances. Make that mm-hmm. clear because you know people are going to look into it.
Yeah.
It's 2021, okay?
Yeah.
You know people are going to look into it. So if you're like, oh, that's what I do for performances because of all the sweat and all the makeup and the mic tape and da-da-da-da. So I have mm-hmm. to and I clear all that out. Okay. But on a day, this is all I do. Okay, that's fine. Also,
that's fine.
There are some people who just splash water on their face and have the clearest baby skin. If I just splash water on my face, my day two, I'm literally feeling that I haven't exfoliated in a while and my skin feels disgusting. I don't know how to do it. I'm not one of them. I can't.
Now, I'll say I was blessed with clear skin. Like my mom she never had any issues with pimples. I get a pimple now and then on my face. I get a lot of pimples like body acne, mm-hmm. but I don't get any acne on my face. Okay. I'm definitely was blessed, but I had a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Hyperpigmentation mm-hmm. around my mouth. Yeah. And then it wasn't until I actually started taking care of my skin, because being blessed with clear skin means you don't know what to do with your skin. I was just splashing water and going about my day, or taking body lotion and putting it on my
No.
Because my mom's like, oh, your face looks dry. I was like, okay, let me get the Lubriderm. Just put it on my face. But then I realized that, okay, there's skincare. And it wasn't until I actually did all that, like with toner and stuff, that just got fixed. And I was like, oh, I had to do something.
Yeah. That's literally, like, I have these marks on my face, which I was told are an issue of like a hormone imbalance. So I was told once I lose weight, these should fade, right?
I like them though. It's like natural contour.
I hate them. But a lot of people have said that to me, but I really hate them. They do come in handy when I am doing my makeup, but let's be honest, I haven't done a full face of makeup in a year. So
Who has?
Some people are. Some people are doing it just for like the internet. And I'm like, I wish.
If you are an avid watcher of our YouTube, you see us in our natural glory often.
I will almost always present myself naturally so that you will know. Like I said, the dude I'm low-key talking to now, I always say to him, like, I haven't gotten actually cute for you. He said, why not? I was like, because I already got you. What the fuck do I have to look cute for you?
There you go.
Like, just know, you see me now. Imagine how good I can get.
Exactly. Better you to know this, what you're going to wake up to, than waking up to something that you did not expect.
Exactly. I will not be a bitch who sleeps in makeup to impress my husband. Wait. So, the inauguration, are we going back to it?
Yes. We're going to talk the fashion.
Bitch. Michelle Obama.
Oh my God, our forever first lady.
How dare you?
how as soon as she walked out, I was like, I literally audibly gasped. As soon as I saw her, I was like, you are doing it today, huh? I guess it's your inauguration.
Literally, I saw something that said, Michelle Obama walked out and her outfit got sworn into the presidency. That's what happened. How dare she? Who did her hair? Who did her makeup?
Yes.
Who picked out the fit? How dare those three people? And how dare Michelle? Are you kidding me?
It was so beautiful. It was like, there was a meme that said, how can you tell I look fine with my mask on? Michelle Obama looked fine with a mask on. She looked fine.
Yo, I just can't.
The eyebrows, the highlight, the bundles, the coat with the shoulders.
Literally. First of all, monochromatic looks was clearly what all the designers were going for.
Yep.
Dr. Biden, she looked great as well. And when I saw her,
she looked good.
Then I saw Dr. Jill, and I said, "Oh, it's a fashion show." I didn't.
Yes.
But then I saw Kamala afterwards. She got some skinny ankles, but the whole purple. I was like, "Oh, it's a fashion show."
It's a fashion show.
The fact that they looked.
Well, you said when she walked out. That's where you stopped. When Dr. Jill Biden walked out.
When Dr. Jill Biden walked out, I literally, because I saw the Obamas first. And men's fashion, men can do it up. They choose not.
Yes.
And I say that because I remember there was one year, I think it was, who's the black guy from Star Wars? John Boyega, my husband. Mm-hmm. And I always forget his name, but I'm in love with him. But John Boyega from Star Wars, the year that the first Star Wars movie came out, that he was in, and he was doing all the award shows and all this stuff. I mean, he was showing out at every press thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Michael B. Jordan had this nice little paisley.
Yes.
Time. Men can do it up, right?
Yes. Yes.
Obama's a good-looking man. He's in shape. He's always going to look good.
Michelle, but he's happy to have her on his arm. That's the type of man he is. Look at her.
Nice. And then when I saw Dr. Biden with that cute little blue belt, that nice modest little neck.
Yes. The crystals. Crystals in the coat.
I was
ridiculous.
Like, who's doing it? Excuse me. Gorgeous.
It was, and Kamala wore all black designers, which I applauded it. Yeah. I have my thoughts about Kamala. I'm gonna correct me every time I say it wrong. Okay. I have my thoughts about Kamala. I do believe that she's still a prosecutor. Yeah. She still did not exactly, at least from what we know, did not fight in any specific way for black people. And I do believe she has very much an Olivia Pope vibe about her.
That's why you think she's gonna what?
Kill Joe Biden to be president. Yes. It was said here first, guys. So when it happens, I'm telling you, and Kamala takes the oath, she's gonna look at the camera and wink because it's all a part of her master plan.
My friend said, he was like, "Oh, what do you?" He was like, "The Simpsons the Simpsons have seemingly made predictions about a lot of things in the future, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And they prophesized that we would have a female president for this election. So what do you think about that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Well, what do you think about that?" I was like, "You think she's going to kill Joe Biden?" And he said, "Yup." So a lot of people have this sentiment. I personally think I wouldn't be shocked if Kamala was made our president, and how fun would it be?
It'd be fun.
To be forced to have a female woman of color president. Fuck all.
That's the only way it would happen in America, to be perfectly honest. That's the only way.
And if that were to happen, and then she were to do a good job and decide to run, I think she could get voted in.
Yes.
Right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think she could. That's why I'm not predicting it. She might not get a full term on her own, but I also am of the sentiment that Joe Biden is 78 years old, guys.
Yeah.
He's old as fuck.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is old as fuck. He might just die. I'm not wishing that on him at all.
No. No.
I never wish death on anybody, but he's old, you guys. He's old. So, like, even
We'll see.
like, it's 10 years under him. So, like, you know?
I also didn't know he had a stutter, or like a lifelong stutter. I didn't know that. And you wouldn't have guessed it at the inauguration because he repeated the words very eloquently,
Yeah.
did not have a hitch, nothing.
Yeah.
He was using the original King James Bible.
Oh my God. Wait, that's so funny you said that. I remember there was something one time where it was like a news session, sort of like this Zoom call, but it was like a newscaster and one of his guests, right?
I'm here.
Okay. It was like a newscaster and one of his guests. And the guest was like some conservative, white supremacist xenophobe, but he wouldn't admit to it. And he was like, well, a Muslim man could never be president. And it's like, and the newscaster was like, but why not? And he's like, because when you become president or when you hold any office in this country, you need to swear on the Bible, and they can't swear on anything that's not the Quran. And the guy was like, you understand that you don't have to swear on the Bible. And the guy was like, yes, you do. And he was like, no, you don't. He was
no,
like,
you don't.
I was sworn in as a governor, or what, he held some sort of position, right? Mm-hmm. When I was sworn in as like whatever I am, I had to swear on the Bible. He was like, you know, you chose to swear on the Bible. And the guy was like, huh? And he was like, you could swear on anything. You could swear on the Torah. Well, the guy said Jewish Bible, but he was like, you could swear on the Torah, you could swear on the Quran, you could swear on News Weekly if you wanted to. You choose what you swear on.
Yeah.
And then literally the dude was just like,
mind blown.
And then the newscaster was like, all right, let's go to break.
Oh my God, Americans are dumb. But like,
a high title, how do you have so many degrees and you're still that dumb? I just don't. You are so committed to being racist that you literally block your own education. That's
and when they're told otherwise by someone who they don't deem as a reliable source, aka any person of color, then they're not going to believe it.
Exactly.
It has to come from someone that looks like their cousin or looks like their father for them to be like, maybe.
Also, this is going to sound weird, and I've heard other people say it, so I know I'm not alone in thinking this, but there is something about white people having cousins which just feels weird, right? And let me further. If a white girl came up to you and she pointed at a white boy, she could literally say, that's her stepbrother, that's her brother, that's her cousin, that's her boyfriend, or that's her friend. No matter what, you would believe it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we can't tell the difference, I guess.
So there's just something weird, and there's just something weird about white people and their family members. Like, I see brothers and sisters together. I see mothers and children, parents and children together. But as soon as you're like, yeah, I'm hanging out with my cousins, I'm like, I don't believe you. You don't have Christy. I don't know how to describe it, but my brain can't, like.
Okay. To round up the inauguration talk, what other notes I wrote down? I wrote down.
Because you asked me how it made me feel, and I said it made me feel emotional. How did it make you feel?
Optimistic. I would say it made me feel optimistic. And I don't trust the optimism because I know that it's same shit, different toilet. Like, I know they're still politicians. They're only going to do what they want to do. Right. But I still felt optimistic. I was just so happy I just wanted a constant 24 camera feed on Trump. I just wanted him to watch it. Like, I felt very like, nah, like in your face. Like, when I was watching it, I was very proud and suspicious about how Black it was. I love the poem by Amanda Gorman, that 22-year-old that had Oprah's earrings and Maya Angelou's coat on. Like, she blew me away. The preacher, by the time it got to the preacher, I was like, why are we so Black? Like, oh, Joe, you are white, but that's his preacher.
Yo, but you know what happened? So when I was at the doctor, my friend was at the mechanic, right? And she asked me to come pick her up because her car had to stay there all day. I said, yeah, as soon as I leave the doctor, I'll come get you. And she was like, oh my God, Christine, everybody in this shop, this auto shop right now is a Trump supporter. And they were literally like, one of them said, oh, Biden's going to get assassinated. Don't worry about that.
Wait, she's serious?
Yeah, that's what one of the people said. The secretary said the same thing as you. She's like, you know, Kamala's going to kill him. And then the secretary of the auto shop. And then somebody else is like, huh, you know, it's a Democrat inauguration and there's a Black person talking.
What is wrong with you?
I'm like, so you are admitting that the Republicans are racist. Like, yes. I'm just sitting here. It's just, and literally she said that. As I was leaving the doctor's office, she was like, she sent me all of those messages. I was like, oh my God, I'm on my way. I'm on my way as quick as I can. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
I would have walked in that mechanic's office like, what a beautiful day to be an American. Isn't it great, guys? Isn't it such an amazing day today?
She was terrified. She was like, Christine, I think they're going to lynch me. I was like, that's the energy they were giving off. Like, they were mad, aggressive, and clearly racist. Terrifying.
Oh yeah, I'm glad he got through it. He also didn't mention Trump at all. Like, he mentioned how Jimmy Carter was missing, all the other former presidents that couldn't make it because of their health or COVID, but he didn't even mention Trump because Trump chose to not go, which is super disrespectful.
So it's like, I don't care about you anymore. At least Joe has been in the White House before, so he didn't really need Trump.
Yeah.
Trump left Joe a letter, so he didn't break that tradition. Did you see the
Yeah.
Did you see
Yeah, I did see the you know I won.
One of them said, Dear Joe, you are scum between my
I did see that.
Trump Falfa.
I did see that. I'm trying to think what else with this. I wrote down some things.
Okay, tell me.
I wrote down super Black and underlined it twice.
Super Black.
Yes, the guy that saved the Senate, the Black guy who was part of the Capitol Police.
Yeah.
And he saved them from being whatever these white people had in mind, killed, kidnapped, burnt, like lynched, whatever they were going to do, he saved them and he got promoted. I don't want to mess up his title, but he was promoted.
Nice. Yeah.
Tremendously. And he was able to escort Kamala. Kamala, like Kamala. Kamala. It should be an H on the end. Kamala.
Does that change it? No.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
But no, like I said, I hate to keep bringing it back to her, but I'm happy. I'm truly happy that she's now walking with glass all over the ground, as someone said, from breaking all those ceilings of 232 years without a woman or a woman of color as vice president. And I think that's just, she deserves. Yeah. As much as I might not agree with her politics, she deserves. And it's gotten her to this place that's going to get a lot of little girls to this place.
And you know what? Because while I don't agree with her politics as well, but you've heard me say this before, even when it came to who was the woman who worked on Bush's cabinet?
Condoleezza
Rice. I don't agree with her politics. She's a Republican, so straight off, I don't agree with her politics.
Yeah.
But like, I can't get mad at a woman of color, specifically a Black woman.
Mm-hmm. A dark-skinned Black woman.
Who's able to make it to such a high place, even if I don't agree with her politics. And I don't agree with most politicians, Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
But we need a government. But for her to get to the position that she got to, I'm proud to say that she's a Black woman.
1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%.
Kamala fell into the trap of, because she's an immigrant, because she's a woman of color, having to overprove herself, because at the end of the day, especially where she's from, it's the white people who you need the approval from, not them. Mm-hmm. And had she been pro-Black, I don't think she would have gotten to where she was.
That's true. That's very true. Do you think, and we might be asking the wrong person, but do you think that, because I've seen some discussion about how she doesn't claim to be Black. She claims to be of Jamaican and Indian descent.
Mhm.
She claims those cultures, but she doesn't necessarily claim Black. Like, she's happy to be here with them, happy to support us, but she doesn't exactly claim it, because from what I've heard in Caribbean cultures, you're of that culture. You're not necessarily Black American.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Not surprising. I think that's for
Mm-hmm.
I think that's for a lot of people, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm adopted immigrants. My father has really fallen into that same trope of I need to impress the white people. I need to be as far removed from what they like as possible. And let's be honest, America has done a really great job at keeping Black immigrants and Black Americans separated. Even my mother said when she came here and she came to school, she only got Haitian friends. She wouldn't be friends with the Black Americans because the Black Americans would, call her, all those insults that they
Haitian. they would make fun of. Haitians were the one class of people, and Africans, that were made fun of ridiculously.
Ridiculous. To this day, I think there's still issues between Haitians and Black Americans. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Specifically Haitians and Black Americans. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And my father grew up, I remember that, but my mother is also doesn't like white people. So I remember, and she's very proud to be a Black woman. So I remember there was one week in middle school, I was getting picked up by my parents on 2 separate days, right? Mm-hmm. One day, I was hanging out with a group of my Black friends, right? And my father came and picked me up, and he was like, you shouldn't only have Black friends. You should have some white friends, like diversify. You don't want to just hang around those people. Same week, different day, my mother picked me up, and I'm hanging out with my white friends. I don't really have white friends anymore, but back in the day I did. And I get in the car and my mom's like, you need Black friends. Don't always hang out with those white people. You need some
Mom, friends. I just have friends,
Same week, 2 different days, just happened to be with 2 different groups. And I think that's when I really saw how my parents' experiences in America were so different from each other.
Yeah. And that's why I'm wondering what her experience is, because she is an AKA. So she did go to a HBCU. She is a part of Black Greek life. She grew up she spent time in the blackest parts of California. But then she has a white husband. And then she prosecuted and jailed hundreds of Black families. She refused bail for hundreds of Black families. She supported the prison industrial complex. So it's like, I know it's not black and white. I know it's not black and white. I know there's a gray in the middle, but it's just like, I'm wondering when and where she's going to choose to support,
And that's my fear, because I'm thinking, because she had to, like we said, she was obviously very Black up until a point. And then I have a feeling, because she needed to advance her career, or because she felt like she needed to advance her career, this is what she needed to do, she did it. Now that you're in a place where you don't have to play those games anymore, are you going to still do the same thing? Or are you going to step out the box and support your people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you going to, and are you going to support the next prosecutor who takes over to, undo the things that you did? We will be watching her very closely. Like I said, I'm proud that she is a woman of color, specifically because half of her is Black, but I'm proud that she is a woman of color, descendant of immigrants, and she's where she is right now. So let's do something for real.
Just anything. And honestly, it won't even take much. It won't even take much for her to do for some type of part of community. Like, she could support legalization of marijuana for the country. Like, she could do anything, any number of things for the Black community.
And if I were to see that I'd be very happy about.
She could lead some type of prison reform bill. She could lead some type of police reform bill, like anything.
And I'm praying these things happen. Maybe we need to go where she goes and ask her these questions, and maybe that'll give her some talk. Maybe that'll give her some, you know,
some oomph.
Exactly.
It was a good segue though, because we talked about Kamala's white husband. So we are segueing into interracial dating on television. And no better way to talk about that than with Bridgerton, the new Netflix show. Was that Jamaican? What accent was that?
I think he tried to go British and he struck out.
The new show on Netflix, Bridgerton.
Cut. I don't know what that is.
Booyaka.
And go to commercial. But yeah, Bridgerton. I'm still, because I take a really long time to watch TV, I'm actually going to, after this is over, sit down and force myself to watch the next two. I like the show. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't watch TV. But yeah, I just got to the point where Simon said he would rather die than marry the same guy, which is like dramatic. Just fucking marry me, bitch. And then she was like, no, okay, we're gonna get married. Never mind, fuck what you said.
Yeah.
And while I think, I mean, that man is fine as hell.
Fine. He's so beautiful.
I just don't understand Shonda's obsession with interracial relationships.
She is obsessed with it. And I think I wouldn't have called it an obsession before Bridgerton, because before, those interracial relationships were strictly on ABC and in those types of shows that she used to make. But now I'm just like, you were not being held to anything. Like, you're not being held.
Even on ABC. I mean, they literally called it Shonda Thursdays. They called it Shonda Land. You were in charge. You could have given us one unproblematic, same color couple. You could have, and you refused. It's an obsession. It's clearly an obsession.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I am so tired of this idea that we can't see a strong Black couple.
Like what? Yes.
On a highly rated show.
Okay, so
that isn't about them being Black.
Okay, so the only example I have is This Is Us. So do you watch This Is Us? You don't, right?
Mm-mm. It's too emotional.
It's very emotional. You have to like be ready for that every week. But one of the main characters, Randall, has a very Black family, and the show is not centered around them being Black. But at least this season, it's centered on him introspecting about him being the only Black child in his adopted family.
Yeah.
But that's only with this, and this is season 4. This is the first time, well, not the first time, but this is the first time it's being focused on. And
sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
I'm with that. Because at the end of the day, as Black people in America, we do have different experiences. We do have our own culture. We do, you know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? It seems like we can't see a Black couple that isn't fighting for civil rights or dealing with a drug addiction.
Yeah.
My kid got knocked up and she's getting bad. Shut up, man. I just want to see them go to the park. God damn it.
Do you think, so there's 2 arguments with this, especially when it comes to Bridgerton. One argument is she could have done without Black people at all. She could have chosen to not have Black people in the show at all because it takes place in England, where, as far as we know, there weren't Black people in high society like that show is. The second argument is because she decided to add Black people, she could have made the lead Black and because they were already included. Yep. And the last argument was she did not have to explain why there were Black people. You'll see later in the show, or I'm not sure if it's already happened, but she takes the time to explain why there are Black people in this show when you don't have to. It's a fictional show.
Didn't make sense. That didn't make sense to me at all. You want to know why it didn't make sense to me? Because she said, now we can make it because the king married the Black queen. Lady Danbury, you got your lady title before that woman was queen. So what? So I was like, what a weird backtracking, because they were already like, the Duke was Black. He already had white servants, and the Duke had a Black wife. That's what I'm saying. The Duke had a Black wife, but he treated the wife like shit. Only cared about his son. Come on.
Not all Black families are like this.
Thank you. And the one Black couple, and you decide to make the father a villain. Fuck you, Shonda. I didn't like that. And there was no reason for her to explain it, because if all the king did was marry a black queen and all of a sudden we're all no.
You don't have to explain that. You don't have to explain, especially because the way she painted it, you would think that more white people would be hesitant about this whole thing about black people now being nobility, since it only happened in the last 20, 30 years or so.
Thank you. And that's what didn't make sense to me is, because, I mean, the dude came out and the moms, like you said, the moms flocked to him, marry my daughter. So clearly it wasn't an issue. It was so weird that she put that in. And I know she knows it was weird. I know she knows it was weird. Shonda, you're better than that. So that's Number two, I expected truly colorblind casting, and it wasn't. It was all black and white. If you're going to do colorblind casting, where are the Asian people?
Right.
Where are the Hispanic people? Where are the...
You just need them to look pretty. I don't get it. They just have to be attractive. Like,
I just thought it was weird that she made it specifically white and black for no reason, gave a weak reasoning for it. But I was like, you might as well have kept the reason out and just made it truly colorblind casting. But no, Shonda has an obsession with interracial, specifically in black couples. I don't know what it is. To me, racial harmony does not come from black people and white people fucking each other. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but it's bizarre that that's the narrative you push, because that's what you think is true racial harmony, biracial children.
Right.
No, Shonda, you have to go to therapy. At this point, I'm recommending you go to therapy.
I agree. Her and Tyler Perry, something happened to them that they don't believe in the whole black family unit. They don't believe in it. They truly do not believe in it.
There has to be an issue. Somebody has to be cheating. Somebody has to be fucking a drug addict. Somebody has to be
running from the law. Like, why can't they just be
for me to
two
be
doctors?
I need a white husband. For me to be I need a white husband.
And again, not to bring it back to This Is Us, but that's why This Is Us is so, not one of the many reasons, but it's one of the reasons why it's so critically acclaimed, is because you have a whole black family unit with two daughters, one adopted daughter. They live in Philly. The father's the mayor of Philly. Like, they are literally like they're so wholesome that it's just like, it's refreshing to see, which is nuts in 2021. Nuts.
It's refreshing to see, because for so many of us, that was our life growing up. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that the black people historically suffer from broken families. We do, unfortunately. And we know why.
Not of our own fault, not of our own volition.
We know why we do, but historically we suffer from broken families. So for us to come into an age where so many of us grew up with both of the parents in the house, even if it wasn't all perfect, but so many of us grew up with our parents in the house, or even if the parents were divorced, they didn't divorce and immediately go for white people, or they didn't divorce and not know how to co-parent. You know what I mean? You know how many situations I know where somebody is dating somebody else with the kids, and the kids are spending equal time at mom's house and at dad's house. So it's I remember, you know what I mean? So
that sounds perfectly fine.
Stepmom is like, that's my kid. The mom goes to pick up her kid to go do something, and she takes the other girl's kids, her baby daddy's new kids, out with her own kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're learning how to truly co-parent. Like, we're learning how to take care. And so it's like, I want to see that represented. I want to see that represented. How many men I've known over the last few years, do you know, I've seen so many declarations of it, like mostly online, that's where I get a lot of my stuff, of black men saying, my father wasn't in my life. I refuse to do that for my kid. Even if me and his mother are not together, I will.
That's no longer the narrative.
In his life, I will be an active parent. I will not disappear like my father did. You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, like I said, we have shows like Blackish. There are shows, like, I can't really think of many right now because I don't watch a lot of like sitcom TV or like ABC or NBC type shows, but I know we have Blackish. I know we have Grownish. I know we have the This Is Us family. I'm trying to think of other ones. The fact that I can't think about it should be telling enough, but we do have some. It is not to disregard those and the work that they're doing.
Absolutely. There's this one thing, Cartoon Network. I love Cartoon Network, mostly because I like cartoons. But
yeah, I'm about to say it.
But there is this one TV, Cartoon Network has done a very good job. They over the past, I'd say, decade, they started this no bullying campaign. And now their content is very much like, we support you no matter what. During LGBT
Pride Month?
Pride Month? Thank you, LGBT awareness. That's funny as hell. During Pride Month last year, during every like historical month or whatever, they'll have like kids and families come in and talk about things. So during Black History Month,
Oh, wow.
have the Black kids come in. They'll have like they'll have viewers submit their videos. They'll put the video during their commercial breaks. They have a whole no bullying campaign, several commercials about no bullying, how being a friend could help people, and
Wow, that's really good.
Yes, and during Pride Month, I literally started tearing up because I am emotional. During Pride Month, they had a segment where these kids and teenagers, right, who have already found an identity, or at least are on their way to finding an identity. They had a little trans girl. I think she was like 14 or 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
Had a gay kid, they had a lesbian, they had a non-binary, and they let them tell their stories. These little, young teenagers tell their stories about their journey to find themselves and the support they had from their family and their community. I'm like tearing up thinking about it. And it's like, and it was a commercial that aired in the middle of the day when kids would be watching it. So it's like, normalize this.
That's what needs to happen. Like, that's what needs to happen with, but not even, for me, LGBTQ plus rights are very, 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 very important.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy to think that is being normalized more than just being in a black family unit being normalized. Oh, and I think that's because the LGBTQ awareness, things like that, affect white people. And they don't care about showing black family unit. Because as far as they know, there's no such thing
as a black family. But that's what I was going to say. There's a TV show on Cartoon Network. That's why I mentioned them in the first place. And they've had plenty of people of color on Cartoon Network. But there's one TV show in particular called Craig of the Creek, where Craig has these two weird friends, and Craig's a little weirdo too, and they go into this creek behind the house, and these kids have adventures. There's like a protector of the creek. You're 11. Go home and do homework. How are you protecting the creek? What's happening? They go on adventures. There's like, it's all this stuff, right? Like, Craig is black. And his mother and father are black, and he has black siblings, and they hang out with their black cousins and their black grandparents. And Craig had a crush on a black girl.
And this is a cartoon.
This is a cartoon.
And the brother is black cartoon.
A black girl, and they have black people voicing the black characters, and they are adamant about it. And they show, and it's literally, you're seeing Craig playing video games with his dad. You're seeing the mom take the sister and the brother to the hair salon, and the sister,
that's so important.
And she's like, how long is this going to take? And she's like, well, after you know it's my turn, so you're going to have to sit there and wait. You know what I mean? And they go,
that's beautiful. I didn't know that existed.
Yes. I'm personally not into it because it is definitely made for children. I like the cartoons that feel like adults can watch them too. But sometimes I just sit and watch it because it's the only thing on TV. And every time I see it, like, that's how I saw the one where they went to the hair salon. And she's getting her hair braided, and they're having gossip, like at a hair salon gossip. And I'm like, good show.
Yeah,
and the kids love it.
I think, just to like summarize this conversation, I guess I have another question.
Yeah.
Do you think that we should support shows like this because Black people are connected to it? It's written by a Black woman. Well, not even written, produced by a Black woman. Black actors. Should we support a show like this, even though the message is find your lily white princess and fall and live happily ever after?
I absolutely think we should. And I think that we should critique it heavily. I don't think there's anything wrong. You know, if the show is good, a show is good. The messages aren't, and the thing is, the messages are being broken down. So I like that we can see them and we understand what she's trying to do. Or maybe she doesn't understand it. Maybe this is just, like I said, this is just her obsession. So she keeps writing about it, keeps writing about it, keeps writing about it. And it's like, maybe, hopefully, you know, hopefully she sits down and she sees these critiques. Shonda, we love what you create. Please give us a strong Black family. Stop.
Yes.
Why is it that every light-skinned woman in the show or light-skinned man in the show is shown getting married, getting suitors, getting, you know, paired off?
Yep.
Lady Danbury, the only dark-skinned woman that has lines, no history of her own. We don't know what her romantic history is. We don't know what we don't even know what her base is. You know what I mean?
Nothing. And you don't learn it in the first season. Like, as someone who saw it all, you don't learn it. They don't go over that.
Even the Duke, you made the Duke a dark-skinned man, the Duke's father, the original Duke. You made him a dark-skinned man and you made him evil. And you killed off his Black wife within seconds, minutes.
Yep.
Why? When we're asking you, especially now that Netflix is giving you the freedom.
That's my thing. You didn't have to do that.
Netflix gives all of its creators the freedom. Is it that you wanted to show that interracial sex scene? Are you that obsessed with it that you needed to direct it? I want to see two.
Oh my God.
And
I'm so tired of seeing, like, not to interrupt you, I'm just tired of the whole trope. The trope of, like, this lily white virgin, little petite little white girl getting ravaged by this Black 6'5" muscular experienced man. Like,
and the fact that our one Black girl who is getting real screen time is a hussy who got pregnant.
Yeah.
Damn, Shonda, do you not like yourself? Can we talk about that? You have too much talent for you to be this anti-Black. I'm sorry. Get it together. Go to therapy.
Ridiculous.
Please.
Yep. Call up Tyler Perry. Have him tag team it with you. Y'all both need it.
Go to therapy. That's all we want. And I don't think there's too much to ask, especially because, and we've spoken about this before, but the amount of Black representation that we used to have with our movies and with our TV in, like, you know, the early 2000s, that all of a sudden just got cut. Cut. They said, nah, fuck this. And now we're fighting to get that representation back. So,
and low key, that's what comes with integration and assimilation, not having your own. And I've had this conversation with a couple, like, of my Black friends, like, if integration helped us or hurt us, if our strive to be one big community is helping or hurting the Black people as a whole because we're not focusing on our own. And I do believe that when it comes to the entertainment industry, our strive to just be included or to be cast, or one Black person, one Denzel, one Halle Berry in a sea of white people, has kind of sort of taken the focus off on us making our own and being good within our own right.
Absolutely. And I mean, I agree with you 100%. What I appreciate about Denzel specifically, mostly because he likes to do theater every once in a while, he'll always pick a really Black show to put up on stage.
Yeah.
So that he can be around Black actors.
Raisin in the Sun.
I can't stand that play. I think I've seen it 4 times in my life. And I every single time. But yeah, so, but no, I do agree with you. It's like, you know, you're so concerned about your name. What are you doing now that you've gotten up there? We know Halle Berry too, so she's out of the conversation.
Yeah.
But I've said this before, and I say this, I know that a lot of people will say to me that I talk about race a lot. And I'm like, because it's everywhere. It's embedded in everything. And I have to, when I walk out this door, I have to be aware of the fact that I am a Black woman. I walk through this world and I am a Black woman. And that affects what happens to me, what people say to me, what people give to me, the opportunities that I'm allotted.
You're walking while Black, then you're driving while Black, then you're parking while Black, then you're going to Target while Black, you're shopping while Black.
I'm banking while Black. Come on.
Yep. And that all comes with difference. It's so crazy. You really can't leave your house. You can't just hang your suit up, your skin suit,
and just walk out. Exactly. And that's why I say all the time, and I've said this before, I've talked about this before with you. I would love for there to be racial equality between the majority of us. You know what I mean? There's always, because racism is already embedded in society, there's no way it's ever completely going to go away, unfortunately. But I would love the idea of racial harmony. I would love the idea that you could see a person of another color and not be scared of them, or not be, and not have to be called. Yeah, that you could look at somebody else, acknowledge that there's something different, and be okay with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how many times have you seen two children look at each other like, oh, why are you brown? How come I'm white? Like, it's not that you don't see it, but they're not asking those questions to be rude. It's just a natural curiosity. Even, I remember I saw a video on TikTok where a girl said when she was younger, all of her teachers were Black from preschool to like first grade. All of her teachers were Black, right?
That's rare.
Yeah. She lived somewhere in the South. So in her brain,
sorry, I carry a lot of tension.
For those who don't watch the YouTube, she just cracked the shit out her neck. That was freaky.
Yep.
But so she had thought in her brain that everybody turns Black when they get older. That was her.
That's how she rationalized it.
She just thought it happened at different times. Like, she saw her white parents and she was like, oh, I guess it's going to happen for them when they get old. So she asked her parents, she was like, so when am I going to turn Black? And they were like, what? And she was like, yeah, what, like, when does that happen? Does that happen for us when we're older? Is that like our family curse? We have to wait longer? And it's like, and then a lot of the comments were flooded with a lot of white kids who thought the same thing. That they thought, they were like,
you thought, you wish.
Exactly. They were like, one of them literally said, she's like, I had a breakdown when I was told I wasn't Black. Because I just thought that was what natural state was.
That's crazy.
And isn't that crazy? So kids go from that to then growing up and being racist. Not saying that these kids are racist. But
haters.
You know what I mean? But there are so many that like have those neutral ideas or have those positive ideas. And then they get older and it switches.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my point was with that. But that's what I'm talking about. For there to be racial harmony, we need to get rid of the evils in our own community first. Fix what's wrong and then start building together. Because if we start trying to build together right now, it's going to be too many people with too many negative things about what other people think, and we're not going to be able to come together. That's what's happening.
Yeah, we can't even support ourselves and all the ideas that we have.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think that's for every community.
Yes. Oh, not some more than others.
Exactly.
Yes.
But yes. Okay.
Yes. On to the last of our segments, verses. Did you catch that last night? You gotta sit like Bernie.
No, that shit was supposed to start at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. I assumed it was supposed to start around 8:15 because
I think a lot of people did. Let me look it up. Let me go on the verses thing.
Find out, right?
Go ahead.
Live, right? So I clicked on it. I'm listening to the music. My friend came over last night. So as I was waiting for him to come over, I was just, listening to the music.
8 p.m.
Bitch, listen.
Look, they got all these times. Where's the camera? They got all these times. Can you see it? They had 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain. They had all these times for all these countries, and they gonna be late.
8 p.m., y'all. 8 p.m. Listen. This is what makes me angry, okay? 8 fucking p.m.
For the people that don't know, we're talking about the verses that happened last night between Ashanti and Keisha Cole.
Yes.
And for those who don't know verses, you've been under a rock. It's this Instagram basically throwback challenge where they bring two artists together and have them go through their catalogs, I guess, in competition. Usually the pairings are spicy, like Gucci and Jeezy. Like usually they're spicy, so continue. I just wanted to give people who didn't know
who don't know
a heads up.
First of all, This versus was supposed to happen last month, y'all. But then
Yep.
Ashanti got COVID, right?
Yep.
So it got postponed. Then it was supposed to start at 8 p.m. last night. Ashanti didn't show up until I think 9:15 or 9:20. So she was a month and an hour and 20 minutes late.
But Keisha Cole didn't show up till like literally later than that. I was sitting there watching my phone and it was just Ashanti chilling
for a while. Then Keisha Cole showed up. She was late as well. The audio was fucked up. For some reason, they couldn't hear themselves in their headphones.
Yeah.
And then, it was too loud in their headphones. So they kept saying, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. Then the audio sounded, literally the quality of the audio was worse than like an Instagram FaceTime call, like an Instagram video call.
Ridiculous.
It was worse than a FaceTime call when I have 2 bars.
Okay? The ghetto. It was
worse than a Facebook video call. I'm trying to let y'all know how bad the audio was. And then both of them kept complaining. They were like, okay, this setup is cute, but like, I want to get up. I want to dance. I'm trying to whatever. Yeah. But literally, Keisha Cole's camera was like right here.
Yep. So super like, close.
What the
super
fuck?
Close.
And y'all were sponsored by Ciroc and Doritos. And I think Pharrell or something is in charge of Versus now. All 3 of y'all got money. Whoever's in charge of Versus, somebody famous is in charge of Versus. I don't remember.
Why can't you do an audio check? Why can't you just go live or go to a private live and just see how it looks to people? Make sure all the mics are working. Come on, Black people. We only have this one thing. It's gonna be on MTV soon. I'm sure MTV gonna take this and call it Versus spelled properly and have Taylor Swift versus freaking the Dixie Chicks or whoever. So we need to do this right while we have it.
Yes. If that ever happens, I think I'll sue MTV personally. But no, I agree. There was too much time for the kinks to be worked out. And they weren't worked out. So I was upset. And I kept coming in and out, and it just sounded so bad. I just left eventually. Because I like both of their catalogs. I was actually happy for this one because the only other verses I think I had watched, and I never watched any of them all the way through, was the Beanie Man versus.
No, not my cup of tea. No, I no. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you would.
I didn't even watch it all the way through. So I was really excited for this one. Literally tuned in at 8 o'clock. Anyway, my mistake.
I brought this up to talk about their signs really quickly. So what I found out during my research is that both Ashanti and Keisha Cole are Libras. They're literally born 2 days apart, 2 days and 1 year apart. So Ashanti's 40 and Keisha Cole is 39. But their birthdays are literally 2 days apart, which is very odd. Very odd. Their Mercury, which is how they communicate. So Ashanti's Mercury is in Scorpio. So that's why she has that low, delicious voice. The one that talks like this. Very mysterious, very in her communication, not really giving much away about herself, but more talking about a theme or a topic. Keisha Cole's Mercury is in Libra. So she's very much about love, about unrequited love, about love at first sight. That's very much how she communicates. And it's very cool to see because it's true.
Oh my goodness.
Ashanti's Moon and Mars. So her Moon is her emotional side, and her Mars, which is what makes her angry, what attracts her to men, what she finds her passion in, are both in Sagittarius. So she's actually very like emotionally bright, usually optimistic, emotionally flighty, can be very flighty, understanding why she's late. Keisha Cole's Moon is in Gemini, meaning that she talks a lot. She has her emotions are hot and cold, bipolar all the time, and her Mars is in Leo, which means her Mars is her anger is very ego driven. So things that attack her, attack what she feels she is, her ideals, things like that. And we've seen that with Keisha Cole. We have seen that.
That sounds like what she's represented of herself.
And then lastly is their Venus. So what they love. Ashanti's Venus is in Virgo, meaning that she really loves helping. She loves people that help. She loves helping others. She loves being analytical. A Venus Virgo can also make you a perfectionist. It's kind of hard for Virgos to find love because they're either looking for someone that they can improve, like a project, someone who's actually horrible that they need to make better, or they put their ideals on that person and they don't really reach the standards that they might have. So having a Virgo Venus or being a Virgo in general will definitely make your love life a little hard just because you're a perfectionist.
Okay.
And Keisha Cole's Venus is in Sagittarius. So she loves travel, loves everything ethnic, loves experiences, loves friends. Yes, very Christine. So yeah, I just wanted to give like a little, I know we're not doing a Zodiac segment like we usually do. So I just wanted to give a little spice. Best believe I'll be back with the Aquarius season, a breakdown next week. And it'll go on until Aquarius season unfortunately concludes the day after my birthday. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know I post something Aquarius probably every day.
Most days, yeah.
But yeah, so I just wanted to give a little breakdown about that. It's very cool to see, especially in celebrities, how their signs and their birth charts actually show, because we see a lot of them. So it's better than if I had a friend who I just read you their chart, you don't know them. So I can tell you anything. But it's cool to see how with a celebrity that we claim to know a lot about, that we can see how their chart actually comes to fruition. So it's pretty cool.
I like that. And it's funny because you can even see, I was like, you could see the similarities in both of them, but you can also see their differences. And giving like a chart breakdown definitely gives more insight.
Yeah, they're both Libras, which makes them beautiful. They looked good last night. When they did eventually show up, they looked good.
I mean, none of them are ugly women, and they are aging very nicely.
Yes.
Very nicely.
I want to look like that at 40. Ashanti.
Who else? I think BuzzFeed did a throwback, or like did a article where they showed celebrities when we first like got to know them, like most of the movies, and how they look now. And specifically Brandy and Monica. Yes. They look looking that beautiful.
16.
They have no reason looking that beautiful. Oh my God.
No. Brandy's in Aquarius, by the way. Just want to, when we mention it, I'll throw it out there.
You are Aggie.
This is Aggie Aquarius season. I'm fully in my Aggie mode. Fully Aggie mode.
Guys, before we go, I need an ending quote. That's funny. Before we go, we need suggestions for Melissa's birthday.
Oh.
Why do you say it like that? Melissa is not excited about her birthday this year because of COVID. No. But this is her 29th.
Yeah.
This is the last
year. It's not even a special year.
No.
Yeah.
No. It is a special year. It's last year before you're 30. Okay. You deserve to do something nice. You're 29, 25. It's time for something nice.
Yes. Yeah. Shoot us some suggestions. I live in the tri-state. Well, I live in Jersey. I'm not going to say tri-state area. It's my last birthday in Jersey. So I live in Jersey. So if there's anything that you guys know to do, if you guys have any ideas, I'm looking at like New York. I'm looking at ice skating. I don't know. I feel so lost. I want to be on a beach somewhere, but because I'm a responsible human being, I guess, even though everyone and their mother's traveling now. But I guess because I have to be responsible, I'm not trying to travel yet.
I agree with that. You know what? I'm hoping with this vaccine, we will be able to start traveling again. Because I'm bored. And we'll expand on this because we're having our episode this week. Today. Whoa. Okay.
I'm going to write that down though for next week.
Yeah. I'm fucking bored, right? I live alone. My family, I have cousins and stuff, but my parents aren't here. My brother isn't here. I have friends, obviously, but people work. And most of the people that I deal with are in relationships. So it's like, life has been boring.
It has. Even for the people in relationships, it has. Because it's like, I'm tired of looking at you in the house. Like, let's go do something. I feel you. It's all good. We'll talk. Well, I definitely wrote that down for next episode, though.
Yeah.
Are you ready with the quote? Le quote?
I am not. We're gonna cut this
out
while I look for a quote. It's not gonna take long. But
okay. No worries. We're good on time. 11:30. They're giving me enough time to poop before my client.
Let's see.
Ooh, tax information coming through. I gotta file, just like I did last year. I'm trying to file early so I can get all these stimuli quickly.
That's why I'm trying to fucking, what's it called? My job I got fired from, they didn't send me my W-2 yet. It's fucking annoying.
They have till the 31st. Why do I have 5 work emails? Why?
Okay, I think I'm going to quote from the girl who read her poem, Amanda Gorman.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Ask me if I'm ready to do the quote again so we can cut that.
All right, Christine, are you ready? Do you have the quote?
I am. So I'm going to give some pieces of the poem that the young lady, Amanda Gorman, read.
Yes. That gave me life. She's 22.
22, y'all. I said young lady.
Did you see her highlight? Did you see her highlight?
She is, a gorgeous, brown skin, natural haired.
Natural makeup.
Oh my God. Educated beauty. Okay?
Yes.
And I'm not coming for people who don't have a formal education, but
that's not what we mean.
It's just, oh my God. To see, I don't think y'all realize, I don't know. Seeing Black women succeed,
top tier. All the feels.
So I'm gonna give us 2 lines from her poem, the 2 that I love the most. So the first one is, we, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny Black girl, descended from slaves and raised by a single mother, can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. When she said that, I just...
Wow. Chills, actual chills.
And the quote that I want to leave us on today is, so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us.
I love that. That's definitely something I'm going to try and encompass in my daily life. Try not to look what's actually in front of you, but actually look at what's the bigger picture.
Yes, guys, yes. So take that not only as we try and rebuild as a nation, try and get better than where we were before Trump, okay?
Which wasn't all that great.
Let's be honest. So as we try and rebuild as a country, but I think we can all use that quote personally as well.
I agree. Good quote. All right, guys. That makes episode 20. Give me the one. You gotta move it closer. No, this way. Closer. There you go. 21.
Okay. All right. And you know how we have to do it? Now, make yours a 1, and 2, and put them this way. Just in case the camera flips it, because the camera mirrors our stuff. So we get.
Oh yes. Then I'll put it this way.
Just in case. I hope we didn't fuck it up. Anyway.
Thank you for joining us. Christine's gonna give you the information because I have yet to master it, but you can email us at
bothgirlspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, you could follow us on Instagram at
Both Girls Podcast, and also at Melissa's Instagram.
Melly Hort, almost forgot, MELIHORT.
And at my Instagram, Vive Now, VIEVE_NOW. And on Twitter,
yes,
Both Girls Pod.
Yes. And we will see you guys for episode 22. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
See you, y'all. Bye.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Oh, okay, bye.